Okay, so Xanarkand is a level 4 enemy area, but honestly, this next bit isn't fight-based, so I'm not too worried about it. Unless I have to walk through it again. I shouldn't have to, but... oh well. Got a level.
Looks like business is booming.
Oh, what's Pop thinking?
I guess I gotta do the walking thing. Level 4 enemies does not make me feel too good. But I guess we gotta do it, because Guadasalam is a level 4 area too, I believe, so... ugh. Realistically, you want to get something down to a 2, if possible. So I might take an episode or 2 to grind in Makalania and here to take care of it. $40. Ow. Okay. It's not the worst. Wah, wah, wah. So it does help I'm not really going for 100%ing, so I can just kind of go at my leisure. For a level 4 area, that enemy was not that bad. That! Oh! That's more like it. Please don't throw a meteor at my face. Ow. I guess we gotta do it. I don't know how much HP he's got. Ow. I mean, Riga gave the signal. Oh. Alright. Look, levels are levels, and levels are nice. 15. 16. Eh. I got a ways to go. That's for sure. But that's not what I'm here for right now.
Well, hello.
How's work?
It's a never-ending struggle. As you can see, the monkeys are multiplying. They were harassing the tourists. We had to close down.
Well, I guess this will teach Pop a lesson at least.
Sid's not here anymore.
Hmm?
After your last visit, he dropped everything and took off. I don't know where to. Oh. Well, I must be going.
Now you behave yourselves.
Hey, if there were more of these little guys, you think the place would empty out?
Yeah,
It just might.
we're doing this. Freaking nose. Oh, sorry. Ah, Operation Monkey. So the idea is to pair up monkeys based on their names. They could be puns, they could be alliteration, it could be all sorts of things. Also, watch out for your money. They'll just take a bunch of it. So I think... yeah, there's some over here. Winter. Felina, so that's a cat. Okay, so that's... alright. So we got Winter and we've got Felina. Nice thing is I don't have to get into fights right now. Yeah, Winter and Felina. Yeah, you get money taken from you pretty quick, but it's not too bad. So this might take a little while. Silva, so I'm guessing gold. So yeah, you watch the names, you get it pretty quick. Quiver. Okay, so that's arrow quiver. Some of these you don't realize until it makes absolute sense, and you're just like, oh. Duh. But I've done this a couple of times, and unlike the Gunner's Gauntlet, I am not having to fight anything! I'm not having to shoot anything. So that's autumn. So either spring or winter. But I'm gonna guess spring, because that's the opposite. There's light curtain. Time. So that is a spice, I believe, or an herb. There's arrow, so we know about that one. Max. Terran. Okay, so Terran is Earth, so I'm gonna wait for something else on that. Okay. But we're already seeing a couple of them that mix together. Valley. Summer. Okay, so summer and winter. So summer's there. It gets easier the more you find. Mini. Canis, so that's Canine and Felina, it looks like. Ah! So they go all the way through Zanarkand. At least I thought they did. Okay, so are any over? Yeah, I thought so. Sky. So it looks like Terran and Sky are together. Alright. So now I just gotta look for a little, like, bloopy heart signal over which one I need to talk to. Okay. So they goes all the way through there. Nice thing is I'm not fighting anybody, so I'm not too worried. Alright. So where's that damn symbol? Should be easy to spot once I find them. At least you would think. Firefly situation ain't gonna help. Okay, yeah, so that's the edge. Alright, so the main thing is I gotta find... Okay. So which one of you needs the... Because you don't want to go all the way back down to the dungeon here. You think I would have found it by now. That's what takes so long, is to find which one has the little blip on them. Alright. Yeah, I'm definitely not seeing it. Is it? Ah! Birch. So that's a tree. Okay. Birch. Yeah, birch is a tree, right? Okay, so that's dawn. No. The game will automatically hit it for you, so it's not like the worst thing. Soul. So Luna is next. There's Mimi. There's Soul again. So yeah, it's really dumb. But it helps finish a chapter, so... I'm not too worried about it. Oh, Gaia and... Luna? No, Soul and... God, there's so many... No, Gaia and Terra. That makes sense. Duh. Birch. Okay, so time. It's not that one. Terran. Birch. Okay. This one's... tricky. What was that one? Autumn? No, it was Autumn. I love how she just carries it full armed out. It's just like, I will get you. Quiver, so that's arrow. Silva. So gold. Winter. So these are all the areas. Let me check. Because birch doesn't... Yeah, birch doesn't get me right off the bat. It's a tree. Maybe I'm not seeing... Like, some of these I've got, right? But... It's kind of like monkey herring. Monkey puzzle. Operation Monkey! Slow the fuck up. Alright, birch. Sequoia. Chamber of the Faith. Oh, okay. Cool. Up. It's a Chamber of the Faith. Well, I didn't see a Sequoia. Well, no wonder I was having trouble. I didn't even see Sequoia at all. They said Chamber of the Faith, so... Bottom right. That's Trials. So they said Chamber of Faith, bottom right. Well, of course I couldn't see them because the background fucked me up. But yes, that's the basic idea. Yeah, that's the Chamber of the Faith. Valley. Aha! There were 2 of them? Well, that's annoying. No wonder I was having trouble. I didn't know there were 2 of them. So either my eyesight's really bad or I just couldn't tell they were there. But, I mean, I know my eyesight's bad. I'm legally blind. I get that, but I've been able to do this before. Anyway, let's see what's next. Some of these are easy, some of them are not, so... Okay. Worst part is you can't just... I wish they would have designed it so that you could just pick up whatever one you wanted. But no, you have to go in a certain order and do it that way, which is really frustrating. It's less so when more pairs are taken care of, but I would have liked to just say, hey, I could pick up this one, and I know where this one's at, so let me do that. Nope. It's not designed that way. Do it our way, dumbass. And yes, you gotta do this, so... Alright. Spring. So, summer. I think she's in the Cloister of Trials. If I remember right. Cloister of Trials. Smaller area. That's what I thought. I mean, I've already started using the guide anyway. Yay! Autumn and spring. Yay! Nope. There's quite a bit of few monkeys over here. So apologies if this ends up being a longer episode and a whole lot of nothing going on. They designed it this way. This isn't the most exciting, but it does have a reason. Their plan is to overpopulate the monkeys so that the tourists can get the fuck out. Not a bad plan, if you ask me. It's like the inverse of pest control. Where the fuck? Alright, next one is Dusky Corridor. In the beyond. Closest to the entrance. Lock. Okay. So I didn't go all the way down. Ugh! The corridor is the first spot. Because there are 6 areas. This is 4. Cloister of Trials is 3 and 2, and the corridor is 1. I didn't go all the way down to 1! I thought I did. So that's what's also making this a bit frustrating. I got time. I'm not doing anything. They said Dusky is waiting down here. Oh. Okay. Yeah, he's hiding behind a box. I wouldn't have figured that. they blend so well in the background, or they're so goddamn small. It's like if you don't have the little love marker, it's really tough. I'm just glad the gunner's going it's over. God damn it, I hated that. Sorry. I know that was last episode, but I'm just like, God! I can't do that one. It's mostly finicky controls with how you handle ammo. And there's like a delay in actually locking on with an enemy and actually hitting the enemy. It's like you have to anticipate taking an extra half second or second to wait for the enemy to do the thing. Okay, Dawn isn't here. Yay! Alright. So they're done. And then Becklum being a whole right tit about it and just basically saying, okay, I got this one. Rosemary and Thyme. like the yeah. Anyway. Becklum being a right tit about everything. Like, summoners are useless. It's like, fuck you, dude. I will show you, even if it takes me 3 tries to get it right. I will show you. Total dickhead. So I wanted to do that one. But again, its mechanics leave a lot to be desired. At least a little bit. Okay, so I gotta probably go to the corridor. Alright. Yeah, probably the corridor. Dang it! No. Man. Rosemary. Okay. You'd think I'd be scanning the whole map for these things, and I can't do it! Ugh. Now you know why I don't do stuff like first-person shooters and things like that. I cannot see for crap. And perceiving things is also not something I do very well. Oh. Okay. I think an arrow would have been better than a love symbol. It's just like, bleh, bleh. Or make it bigger. Then again, I am using an OBS or slobs thing. This is not nearly as big as a TV, so shit happens. So I need to find Sky. Ah, there it is. Okay. We're getting there. I do think a grind episode would be in order, though. Those level 4 are honestly not that bad. It's just, it's still worth checking. Minnie. Max is up somewhere, I think. He's up in the core. He's up in the cloister. Pretty sure. So I've still got Makalania to do. So arrow and quiver, I think silver and gold. These might be the last ones. No, Canis and Felina. Those are the last two. Last three, I'm sure. Nope. So I did Mini and Max. So Summer and Chamber of the Faith. So this is Summer. Man. There are way more than these than I thought. Okay, so Summer's way back in the chamber. Or Winter's back in there, and then Summer's over here somewhere. Or... no, Winter's over here. Summer's in the chamber. We're getting through this. While I'm doing this, wasn't able to really say this too much before, mostly because the plot was happening, but I know that a lot of people hate Final Fantasy X too. And it's frustrating on occasion, like this, or Gunner's Gauntlet. I give them credit for trying different things. Suffice it to say, sometimes I'm a bit of a traditionalist, and I don't like it when Final Fantasy changes past 6 through 10, and I'm like, well, Final Fantasy's changed everything all the time. And what they are now is not even what they were here, you know? So, I'm a bit biased, sure. But you can't fault things for trying, I suppose. You can fault them for execution. Things like this are not executed to the best abilities, but they at least tried making... This is their first sequel. At least as far as I can remember. And as sequels go, is it great? No. They completely changed what they wanted to do and turned the thing on its head and was like, no, we don't want this. But the more you play this, the more charming and stupid it like, if you don't mind the charming and stupid, this is actually a really fun experience. And like I said, the mechanics in some of these minigames are dumb, but the game is easy as fuck. It's not meant to be hard. It can be challenging on occasion, if you let it. But that's kind of RPGs in general. But Yuna basically being treated as a nondescript piece of shit is taken aback and like, hey, I will do this thing. I will go out and find Tidus and, you know, not stop Vegnagun, but do the thing that is expected of me as a good person who has some carte blanche to say, hey, I can save the world. I don't like the fact that she's pulled in all these directions, the political whatever. I don't think the Youth League stuff is all that, I don't think the Youth League stuff is all that interesting. Valley in the Chamber. Okay. So I don't think the Youth League knew... I mean, it makes sense in theory because you have people on both sides that you have met before and liked, I guess. But it's not something that's really fleshed out more than it needs to be. And I think that's something that I enjoy. I like the fact that it's political intrigue, but not really. It's political intrigue in theory, but you don't have to force it. It's more of a backdrop to introduce Nuge or to introduce other characters from a thing from your past, like Donna or Bartello or Isaru or Maroda and things like that, and give you like, hey, remember this character? Well, they're doing this now. I like that. I like the fact that they have a... I think they went sequel heavy for a while, and now they're doing the remake thing, but they've always done the remake thing. It's more that how do you differentiate Final Fantasy X-2 from 10? Would I have preferred more of 10? Yes, I've said before that Final Fantasy X has the best battle system of the entire franchise, and I still stand by that even now. Because it's what I wanted a battle system of Final Fantasy to be. Turn-based, yet very quick and thorough. I think Persona 5 and Yakuza do it very well, but still, like, rough, well, not rough around the edges in Persona's case. I think Yakuza, because they're new to it, like a Dragon, it's very finicky because they try to do it in an open world setting. It's not perfect, but I give them effort. I try to. They're trying to make an effort on it. Part of the corridor. But I'm a sucker for turn-based. When stuff becomes too actiony and it gets too complicated, I don't mind hack and slash action. But when you do something like a Tales game, like Berseria or something, I liked Berseria, but it made no sense in, like, theory, because you had all these fucking mechanics that you had to watch out for elemental chains and elemental weaknesses and all this other crap, and I'm like, you get hit, you die. Like, I don't need something super complicated. Like, I think that's not the best example, but I think what I'm getting at is Final Fantasy X-2 is a job system and a faster ATB. You get used to that, it's not too bad. And while I don't like it as much, I don't hate it either. So there's not a hatred of it. Chamber of the Faith. Okay. Bottom of the stairs in the corridor. Okay, so that's... I don't hate playing this game. What I hate is some of the mechanics involved and some of the wonkiness of the presentation. I can, like, in a perverse way, you've seen me, like, dancing and jiving and, like, making fun of Brother being an absolute idiot, and you gotta enjoy it, you know. Corridor. Okay, cool. If you take this too seriously, you run the risk of trying to compare it to 10. And yes, comparing it to 10 is bad because 10 has so much better story. But you have to think of this as the antithesis of 10. They went and said, hey, let's do absolutely open world. Let's give you a bunch of, like, little things. Almost like Legend of Mana, right? It has an overarching story, but not really. Nobody really cares about the story in this. Nobody wants to care about the story in this. Because it's not going to end up meaning anything. Let's see. In Great Hall. Okay, cool. But you still enjoy the characters a little bit. Because you have Yuna. You have Riku. You have Brother. And then you have all these other cameos, but then you have Buddy, Shinra, Pain, you know. They do well enough, I think. If you know what you're getting into, and you can, like, bypass your bias of saying, Final Fantasy X should have been this, and it's like, X-2 should have been, like, this, or, like, it should have been Final Fantasy X-0, or whatever. And I still want a X-0, yes. But I'm able to separate, especially with hindsight, a good Final Fantasy game, or at least one that I enjoy, which this is, to a point. It's messy in the same sense that Final Fantasy VIII was kind of messy, but more in an open world sense. Where's Soul at? He's supposed to be over here. There we go. It's messy in the sense that... oh, God. A monkey full future? Ugh. Soul of Thamaza. But before this episode ends, I do want to mention that if you take something too seriously, you forget to enjoy what is being presented. Doubles are... So, you gotta go into this game thinking, okay, the tone is different. What are they trying to achieve? Okay, they're giving you lots of little things, and they're giving you a new battle system to enjoy. Is it the best thing? I could do without it, but I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to give you Final Fantasy V's battle system redone in a goofy, like, dress-up mechanic. They're giving you something lighthearted, like those 70s cartoons or the the 70s, like, Three's Company, lighthearted fare. Charlie's Angels, of course, has the influence there. But when you look at the benefit of hindsight, this is still a fully fleshed out game, even if it's a little wonky. As opposed to, say, 13, which a lot of their story was tracked in these cutscenes and then these, like, log books on the menu. Final Fantasy 15 was unfinished. Final Fantasy 7 Remake is the closest they've come to reaching the 6 through 10 kind of vibe. I don't think 10-2 is as good as 6 through 10, not even 8. But I can appreciate what they were going for. And I enjoy this more than a 12 or a 13, which is super serious, but the mechanics still leave me not engaged. What I like about this one is that it's so fast and so free-flowing, I am always engaged in something. I like the battle system, or I like the fighting, or I like the characters, or I like the minigames that they're presenting, or at least I know I'm not stuck doing a minigame because it's not mandatory. The Gunner's Gauntlet was not mandatory. None of this is mandatory except the actual story, which is like maybe 5 to 10 hours at most. All this other stuff is side content. So you have to think of it more like Legend of Mana, if you've ever played it. Legend of Mana is not a cohesive story. It's more of a bunch of little side stories interconnected in a world that you can experience. So if you enjoy that aspect, you can enjoy Final Fantasy X-2 a little bit more for what it's trying to give you, rather than trying to compare it to something that you want it to be. So, in hindsight, I appreciate this game more than I would normally. Coming after 10? Sure. But that was coming after 10. We don't have that problem anymore. We have 20 years or so of looking back on this and, liking this a bit more. Anyway, I'm going to call it an episode, and we'll get to some grinding next time.